Forget water. Vodka is the drink of choice.
Okay. So all I have to do is jump out of this plane and attack them, right?
That's right. Put on your parachute now.
Don't be silly. There's plenty of snow on the ground. It'll break my phone because it's soft.
What? I don't think that's right.
I'm Russian. I know everything about snow. Well, see you around.
Yeah, you knew this one was coming. Pretty much we are under the impression that Russians don't drink water. Russians don't drink soda. Russians don't drink anything but vodka. Obviously, this can't be true, but obviously there's other things that Russians drink. But we are pretty much under the impression that Russians drink vodka. And that is the drink of choice. And that everyone drinks until they get drunk. Going to the stereotype that Russians are miserable. We pretty much believe you're so miserable, that's probably why you drink so much. That you are so miserable that you drink until you pass out. Or get knocked out. Interesting stereotype. But to be fair, there are Americans who are like that too. So that's an interesting stereotype. And the most common one. It's cold and snowy all the time. It's just like walking into Narnia. Have y'all ever read or seen the movie for the prequel of the Chronicles of Narnia? The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? Well, you know how when they first get to Narnia,
It's she that makes it always winter and never Christmas.
that is what Americans tend to think Russia is like. We think it is always winter, always cold, always snowy, and that you don't celebrate Christmas. Actually, believe it or not, a lot of people say, and this is actually another stereotype, but I'm just going to go ahead and throw it in with this one. A lot of people have the stereotype that all Russians are atheists. The Soviet Union was just a bunch of godless people. Godless communists and all that stuff. I never thought that, and that's not the impression I got. In fact, I actually thought the opposite. I've been watching a lot of these Soviet cartoons, and a lot of the ones I've seen mention either have visuals or mention God or the church or something like that. I'm actually surprised. I actually was under the impression that Russians were extremely religious because of all the Orthodox Church imagery.
Объявили царскую волю, ей и сыну злую долю. И царицу, и приплод тайно бросить в бездну вод.
But apparently not. Apparently, not a lot of religious stuff going on. I'm not saying that Russians aren't religious. I'm just saying that apparently because it wasn't something you did in public, we just thought, oh, you're all just a bunch of atheists. And I think some people still think that. I don't care one way or the other. I don't care if you have a religious belief, if you are Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, an atheist. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. But that's pretty much the impression we got. But as I said, like, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care. Just be respectful. I really don't care. But yeah, apparently, and I have to say, even I thought that. In fact, it was this past summer that I was pretty much told differently. And I got to see pictures of Moscow and Krasnoyarsk in summer. And we use a different system of measurement here than everywhere else. So when I was told that it got to be about 30 degrees in Krasnoyarsk, I didn't quite get what that meant. If I calculated it correctly, I think that equals about 80 to 90 degrees. I think about 80. It was 80 degrees. I don't remember. Math is not my best subject, and conversion is not my best thing. So yeah, I pretty much figured, oh, so the summers in Krasnoyarsk are pretty much the same as summers in New Jersey. And I guess summers here in North Carolina too. But it gets hot enough, but it gets cool enough too. So it's warm enough. So yeah, so you're not Narnia, you're actually, and I guess it makes sense too. You know, Russia is the biggest country that we have, so, and it covers a vast expanse of land, so it kind of makes sense that you'd have a bunch of different climates depending on where you are in the country. We have that here in America too. Certain types of weather patterns are expected in different areas of the country. Russians hate Americans.
What's up with these weird drawings? They're even worse than our actual animation! Who drew this crap? It does not capture the essence of my natural beauty!
Yes, and I have a unibrow for some reason.
I think the ones at the bottom
If
are
that
best.
one is supposed to be of me, I'll hack it out with my pickaxe.
You what?
Well, that's just annoying. Why would someone choose to draw us in such a fashion? It's unforgivable, really. How dare that mysterious person flexibly express all of our individual characteristics with skilled sketches using boldly formed, innovative, and cutesy American pop art styles he probably learned in New York City.
So it was you.
Yeah, we're kind of under the impression that you don't like us very much. You're probably under the impression that Americans hate Russians. This is not necessarily so. I don't think anyone really cares one way or the other unless they're a bigot. But a bigot's a pain in the butt for everybody, so don't take it too personally. But yeah, we are pretty much given the impression that Russians just don't like Americans. That you really either just don't like us or that you just downright hate us. And we don't know how to really take that. I know I was kind of worried about that too. It's like, well, I want to get to know people in Russia, but I don't want people to be like, oh, you American. You know, I didn't want people to judge me by my country and not like me for that. Understandable with some of the propaganda that our countries get, we are not always as quick to like each other. But I would think that, any intelligent person would think there has to be something else to that. I mean, regular people can't be like that all the time. At least not everybody. Don't hate us. We can be really, really annoying. I'll give you that. We are a country of very annoying people. We are annoying even to ourselves, and we are under the impression that everyone hates. I heard recently that Russia thinks that everyone hates them. So I guess we're kind of in the same boat. America is under the impression that everybody hates us. And to an extent, I wouldn't blame them if they did. If they did hate us, I wouldn't blame them to an extent. But I would hate to think that we were all painted with that brush. As far as I know, Americans don't hate Russians. We just don't know how to feel about you. We admire you. We fear you. As in, we are highly intimidated by you. We like you, but we're not quite sure how to handle all these feelings we have for Russia. And of course, you're going to have those people who are very, very political, who are going to get into the political nonsense, which we're not touching. And they'll have their opinions based on that. Don't care about that. So I'm more worried about regular people. So yeah, Russians intimidate me. I am highly intimidated by Russians. But I'm also highly fascinated by Russians as well. And even as silly as it is, I think Russians are amazing creatures. I will get into that one. So yeah, we would really prefer you not hate us. So actually, after some discussions, I'm under the impression that you don't hate us, that you actually do like us. So, yay! You like me!